show. These are cannas. So these are the Cannova Cannas. And these can go in a water garden. These can go in your regular garden. They're going to be one of your taller pieces. This is Phillip's #1 selling annual. These get about 3 to 4 feet tall. But not only are the blooms gorgeous, but the leaves, the foliage, also super gorgeous on these. A lot of cannas have really harsh, sort of garish circus colors. Phillip has selected a group of 3 for you that are really beautiful and not harsh. So scarlet and rose and yellow are what you're going to get in this 3-piece set. Tell us about these, Phillip.
Well, honey, they're just real pleasing colors. See, that yellow is that beautiful butter yellow with the nice dark green, wide foliage. But the plants themselves only get about 3 to 4 feet tall. And the regular cannas could often be 6 feet tall with a whole lot of internodal space between the buds, meaning they're sparse looking. This is absolutely dense. And let me just, this is so tall I can't even get it in the picture. Well, now we can. Let's take it down here. Look at these flowers. Just gorgeous. And again, I use it in containers for structure, but also we talked about planting things in the front edge of the border. I plant these in the front edge of the border with my gardens in Connecticut because they're exclamation points. And guess what I plant around them? Yes, thank you. You're ahead of me, honey, as usual. But that beautiful creeping Jenny, can you see how that sets it off? Because the scarlet one has got that dark bronze foliage. And you see how the contrast, you got it all going on. And
it's incredible.
That Lysimachia comes back every year, but in containers, that will spill over the side too. I use the cannas in containers and in the ground. Now, this is what I call a really rough and tough tropical. And I have planted mine outside here now for 6 years, and I put 2 feet of mulch on top of them. They come back here in Pennsylvania with the 2 feet of mulch. But it really is tender, but they're worth it. They're worth it for the season. And you'll love this butter yellow, or as a friend of mine would call it, vitamin B.
Ooh,
that's
vitamin
what butter
B.
is.
I love that. Okay, so here comes some still shots. Look at the dense green foliage too. So pretty, such a great contrast. And again, these are going to create a privacy hedge. These are 3 or 4 feet tall. Plant them together to get that dense look you're seeing there. Here's another picture of the yellow. And that's in a pot, Phillip, with like a little ornamental grass growing behind it.
Well, yes, it is beautiful like that. But you've got to have something taller in the garden. And this is what I always use for that. Right in the front of the borders, it's right there. If you've got a water garden, these can go actually right in your pond. The Lysimachia can too. And there's that beautiful scarlet with the dark foliage there. The pink one, the rose-colored one, is the one I have had outside here for 6 years, right at the base of my drain because it doesn't mind the wet. You see how great it looks in a rock garden? But again, nothing is going to give you that look. You see ornamental grasses, they don't bloom. You see banana plants, they don't bloom. This is something that gives you that tropical look that actually has blooms on it all summer long. I do it in large pots around clients' swimming pools, and again, at the front edges of the border. If you've got just a small circular garden, you can do these in the center. And sometimes I even do large containers in the center of a small bed just to elevate. Imagine that you've got a pot with this planted in the center of a bed, and you've got the beautiful creeping Jenny at the edge of the pot spilling over. You don't have to build a fountain. You can have a floral fountain, so to speak.
Oh, I love that idea, Phillip. You're so creative. And why do you suppose?
Have fun.
What comments do you get on this canna plant from your customers? This is a new variety, but this is your #1 annual. And what do people say to you about why they love them?
Well, let me just tell you this. One year I did not put it in for my big client in Greenwich. And he thought the garden didn't look nearly as good that year, but he didn't know why. He just knew something wasn't right. And it was this, because they're crazy about it because it doesn't look like anything else. And he's got a house in Palm Beach and also in Connecticut, but it's like a little hint of Palm Beach wherever you are, whether you're in Michigan or in Mississippi. you can have this structure. I also cut the foliage and use in flower arrangements. So I use the leaves in arrangements with other things, but nothing is going to give you this kind of texture. You know, ornamental grasses, it's got that light texture.
Yeah.
This has got a coarser texture. But if everything is absolutely the same, it can be pretty, but it's not going to be great. This
Just
makes
beautiful.
it great.
Oh my gosh. And so I just want to, when we come back, these here up top are the real blooms. And,
Yes.
you know, we can't force everything in time for the season to start here because we start early at QVC. So a couple of these are not, but these are the real ones up here at the top. Look at that color. These look way prettier than the fake ones, Phillip. These are
But honey, look at
so
all the
gorgeous.
buds in the top of it. You see
Yeah.
all
See,
that little...
all of these are going to be more flowers coming out. And that's just going to be more and more.
Are crazy about it. I have them in big pots around my back patio because my back patio is no great shakes. All it is a concrete slab. But when I have the pots with something like this on it, it doesn't look like I live in a not perfect place. I can make it nice with the garden.
So you've got the shipping sample. So tell us what to, now I can plant this in the ground or in a pot?
Plant it in the ground, and then you can dig it up, or you can do, as I mentioned, do the 2 feet of mulch, or actually maybe like 18 inches of mulch on top of it in the fall. And then this comes up in full sun and it blooms. It will grow in a wet area. It will grow in just an average garden area, but full sun for this. And these are going to bloom this year. You'll enjoy these. And it's something else. You'll see cannas elsewhere, and there'll be those harsh colors, not this perfect red with this perfect foliage. And that alone is, my mentor told me, she said, Americans understand color, but they don't understand foliage that is a different color. They know flowers, but not foliage. This is a chance to jump in with the foliage, because when things aren't blooming, you got to rely on the good-looking leaves.
Right, exactly. So,
Yes.
so everybody, you're getting a red one, a rose pink, and a yellow.
Yeah.
This is a 3-piece set. This is an annual, so it's going to get to its full size this summer. So you don't have to wait for it to get that big, tall 3 to 4 feet. So start planning where you want those beautiful, tall blooms to go. We have over 100 gone, free shipping and handling, and 3 easy payments of $10.99. And then don't forget about the Creeping Jenny, which is coming up, because you probably are going to want to plant that with really everything in the show. And we also have Phillip's fertilizer. It is a time-release fertilizer, so you add it once at the beginning of the season, and you're done. Here comes the information on that.